Hi, hi. Let's take a look at some random betting on random shooters. Betting on random shooters from the perspective of being a DI or advantage player. So the player who wants to bet on themselves when they're throwing the dice, and unless they really recognize a good shooter, they want to keep their betting at a minimum unless they have the dice in their hands. I guess that's the best way of putting it. And we'll throw in maybe a little Friday night crap rap. Quick Friday night crap rap. Oh my God. I don't know. Anybody out there watched the Detroit Seattle American League division game tonight? Whew. Amazing October baseball. All I gotta say. Hats off to Seattle and Mariners, and condolences to Detroit. But everybody, hang. No one should hang their head on that game. That was an amazing baseball game. Okay, so betting on random shooters. Okay, let's just assume. Here's the scenario: you are you want the dice. You're a shooter that wants the dice. You don't really want to be betting too much on other shooters unless you can determine that they have got something good going on, one way or the other, whatever that might be. And that's all debatable, blah, blah, blah. So let's say you just buy in, right? You have just bought in and you are standing at the, say, stick right one position, or the position you like to be in. And the dice are to your right. Or if you're on the other side of the table, down there, they're to your left. And main thing is you got 1, 2, 3 or so shooters before you get the dice. And the puck is just turned off. You're being very polite. You're throwing in your monies, your buy-in money. This is a good opportunity because the house doesn't mind or understands that you just bought in, and you're going to want to organize your rack, especially if you've bought in for something other than the bare minimum a person would need to play, or a shooter would need to play on that table. Let's assume it was a $15 table and you bought it for somewhere between $700 and $1,000, let's just say. And you want to organize your rack, you want to get everything set up, you want to kind of, organize your chips in the way that you like to organize them. But you've just bought in, the dice have been wherever they were. They're going to a shooter somewhere to your right over here. The house is not going to care. They just want the game to keep going. And if you just bought in, they're not expecting you necessarily to make a bet right away on that shooter as they're coming out. So that's a good time to just do nothing for that shooter. I mean, unless all of a sudden that shooter is demonstrating that they got a roll going, you may want to get in on it. But otherwise, just that's one shooter you can just completely ignore and don't make a bet on. Just futz around with your rack, do this, that, and the other. Maybe step away for a second, check your cell phone, whatever. That's one shooter you don't have to shoot on. So now the next shooter comes up, and puck is off, and you do not have to make a pass line bet. That's something that is misunderstood, I think, by a lot of especially beginning players. Is that you do not have to make a pass line bet. You don't have to make a bet on that table at all on a shooter. The house is going to expect you to make some bets at some point, but you could probably go 2 shooters without making a bet. So now we're at our third shooter. And Now we know, we probably need to put some money in action, especially if we want to toss the dice, because it's one shooter away from us now, let's say. Okay, so the dice are out. We don't have a bet on the table. Dice come back to that shooter to our right. That shooter to our right picks them up. It's one shooter away from us, okay? And throws a 9. So the puck is going to go on the 9. We're all set. We're ready. The house is not probably expecting us to make a bet. Here's a couple things you can do. All right. A point has been established. You could not make another bet, but somewhere on this shooter, you're going to need to make a bet, or else the house is not going to let you shoot the dice the next time, because you're the next shooter coming up. So kind of what I recommend is, let's say it's a $15 table, is a minimum bet in the don't come box. Shooter just throws a 9. Point made. Your don't come goes to the 9. Puck is off. Same shooter. You're sitting pretty now. What you can do at this point is nothing. See what happens. 7 coming out wins that bet. Nothing else hurts it. See what happens. There's a 6. Okay, shooter's out on a 6. Six is a high probability number. High probability number. It's a $15 minimum table. I'd place money on the 6. Now, place bets are considered, they will take a place bet of any denomination, but it's considered a 7 to 6 payoff on the 6 and 8. So it's considered that you should be betting units of 6. But let's say you bet minimum bet, which is $15 on that 6, which would be a $12 7 for 6 bet with $3 extra flat bet. So the payoff would end up being $17 for the 15. Not a bad bet on a very high probability number that you can take down. Both of these numbers, both of these bets, you can take down. You do not have to leave them up, but you've got money in action. The shooter has thrown twice, actually 3 times. He had established a point, hit it, and now he's established another point. And well, I'm mixing these guys up. Okay, so this is a total random toss. And there's a 7. All right. Winner, loser. And it's your turn. That is one way to play the random shooter, waiting for you to get the dice. You have lost nothing. You might have, even if the dice had gone the other way, you might have won something. You may have actually lost a little something, but you haven't lost much, and you're in the game, and the dice are coming to you. So, this is going to be by the time I'm done, it'll be a 10-minute video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you let me know if you have questions. It's just one way to approach it: stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and remember, luck has got very little to do with it. Hey, by the way, 2 days from now, I'm going to be in Vegas, staying at the Paris. Anybody watching this, let me know if you're going to be around. Let's get together. Adios.